Good morning. How are you today? So I'm at my front yard at the moment and I want to plant some spring bulbs. I got some tulips and quite a few Allium drumsticks. So this variety I haven't grown before and it will spread quite a lot if you want them naturally in your garden. And the weather is just so beautiful. You can see the blue sky at my background, and it's very hard to get the lighting right when we film the video. So let me turn the camera around and show you the area that I'm working on today. So here is the garden bed I'm going to plant Allium drumstick in. So the size of the garden bed is only 3.5 meters wide, I could say. I never measure correctly, but you can see in the middle that focal point is the winter sweet woods. It's got beautiful yellow scent and bloom in late winter and early spring. And underneath of the winter sweet bush, I got own John quills, and they're starting coming up now. Can you see anything here? Yep, some kind like this. And all the while they only start coming up. And outside I got 5 bushes of Russian sage, and they've been blooming since spring and until now, still blooming, but not long now. Few more weeks, I think all of them they will turn to very dead sticks, so they won't look nice. And the planting I want to plant Allium drumstick on the outer side of the Russian sage. So that's what I hope to do. And the outer layer, I got 10 bushes of roses. I got 2 varieties here. One is called Rose Champagne. It has beautiful color, like bridal color, like creamy and white. Oh, I can't wait. So, and another variety is Brindabella. Let me show you the task. Brindabella swirl salmon pink, and you see the 3 striped colors in here. And this garden bed, my husband and I built together only this spring, so only a few months old. And all the roses I plant with bare rooted. So when we plant bare rooted like this, it will take maybe 2 years for them to establish. But at the moment they're still very small. And the outer side, this spring I plant on camomiles, and it's spilled all over the edge of the concrete, and they look so beautiful. And I will try to find the picture I post at the corner of the screen. And after they blooming, I thought I just go ahead, I trim them off, and after that I plant on the herbs all down the edge now. So I think in the future, all the herbs I might dig them up and bring them into my backyard and put in one garden bed, maybe herbs areas. But at the moment they stay here for now. So let me show you the bulbs. So over here I got all the bulbs I want to plant. So I got around 100 Allium drumsticks. You can see the bulbs are not big at all. They are tiny. This is even smaller than my what is that, finger. And here they are tulips. I got all the tulips for 2 years now, and this is going to be the 3rd season I plant them. So every late autumn, so we are in April now. In Canberra, Australia, I plant them and in the containers, and they after finish blooming and or after the leaves shrivel and dying off, I store them away and put them in the paper bags like this. And this time I plant them out again. So this is the orange color I got. What is this one? I think this one the mixed color. Yep, I wrote mixed in here. And this is yellow. Oh, I just love this variety. I can try to find the picture that I got a year or 2 before. And this is very small red tulip. The bulbs are tiny. Let me show you. Okay, you can see that. They're just tiny. Yeah, but they doing very well. So in Canberra, I heard that's because they won't come back well and be blooming for us because of our condition. Maybe they not cold enough for them to come back. Or maybe some of the variety. I haven't tried much other varieties, so I just keeping them at the moment. Maybe in the future I will buy more some other color, and so that's why I plant them in the containers. So on the bulbs, they love to be planted in full sun. So my circle garden bed, they got full sun in early morning sunshine until very late in the evening. And the container, the area I want to, I put the containers over there. They got morning sun and afternoon shade. So the tulips, if you want to keep the bloom last longer, should be planted in the part sun, that means not full sun. So the flower they will last longer. If you put them in full sun, they won't last long. And they love to be planted in very well drained soil. So I got the raised garden bed there. They could the Allium drumsticks. They could be very happy, and tulips in the containers. They could be very happy as well. And you only need to deadhead the tulips when they kind of finish blooming, they turn to brown and yellow. But you want to keep the flower there as long as possible because the bulbs will get the energy from the sun and store them and rebloom for you next year, or bloom better or bigger bloom for you next year. And with the Allium drumstick, they spread by seeding. Like for the seeds, they spread quite a lot. So if you don't want they spread in your yard, like after they finish blooming, you should deadhead. They cut all the flower off and just leave the leaves there, so they will get the energy to reblooming for you or get some more bloom for you next year as well. So the Allium drumsticks, they bloom late spring to early summer. So hopefully on the bulbs I plant between the roses and the resin sides, they're going filling out in the futures. And throughout the year, the roses will bloom until winter. So I just can't wait to see everything develop and grow. And you might not notice, but in the color I'm often going for it like cool color, like light pink or what is it, light pink and purple or blue, just something that to cool the eyes. I do like orange and red, but just depend on the orange, and sometimes I make exception. And by the way, this garden bed, my little daughter, she said this is her garden, so it's very nice. And I mean, it makes me happy that she kind of have interest in gardening. So over here, I got 2 packages now of Allium drumsticks. So I guess maybe 25, maybe 30 over there. So I can find some other spot in the garden bed down there. And by the way, this big tree going to be removed. The company said to me that they will come and chop it down for me in July. So a few more months to wait. Back to this garden bed. So here is the first spot I put them. I might overcloud it, put too much for this spot, maybe 10 bulbs, maybe over 10s. So after 1 or 2 years, I think if they are too overclouded, I will lift them up and divide them. They do spread by, multiply by bulbs as well. So in the future, if you guys growing them and plant them too clouded, you can divide them and give to friends or put the other spot. I'm sure your friends and families will enjoy them. And they very hardy. They like prefer very dry side condition, but they will be happy to have some water regular in the summer. And when they more established, pretty much you don't need to worry about water them much in the summer. They're very drought tolerant. And they're very cold tolerant too. They can withstand with -15s, and they love an neutral pH soil. So I guess this is the pH I got. So hopefully they're doing fine. And because the flower, they got very long stemmed flowers. They're very good for cut flower. If anyone of you like to do so, like me. And at the base of flower, they are green, and on the top they are purple and pink. They're just so beautiful. I can't wait for them to see them all in bloom. So I got the tulips here. Let's go head into the containers, and I'm going to plant them. So here's the containers I'm going to plant the tulips in. I got only 2 at the moment, so I think one I plant yellow tulips, and this one could be the little red tulips. And I can find some other containers for other tulips as well. So at the bottom of the containers, I fill with potting mix for both, and after that I pour the compost on the top. And so the tulips, they like to be planted 3 times deep than the size of the tulips bulbs. So I see here quite a lot of room here. I mean, not up to the rim of the container, yes. So I just lay on the tulips, the pointy facing on the top. And after that, I just pour this container of compost on the top. And because I'm using a lot of compost like this, so I won't have to worry about fertilizing them after they finish blooming or even planting at the moment. And for the Allium drumsticks, they like to be planted quite deep, maybe 10 centimeter deep. Is this one? So basically, you put the pointy on the top and the fatty base at the bottom. I just lay them down here. Can you see clearly? Down there, just lay them down like that. And I toss the compost on the top. So, and I water them in. So I plant them with one hand. Okay, it's all done. So I'm going with my hose and water them on in. I'm sure, I hope I can do an update for you about the bulbs, how they're going, and maybe they could do the garden tour in the spring. So thank you guys so much for watching, and see you next one. Bye bye.